You know, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was gonna try to do a Hot Boy style YouTube video intro, but as you guys can see, the brakes do work. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's hop into this one. All right, guys, real quick, before we hop into this video.
Thank God, because that shit was making my ears ring.
If you don't know where we are, we're at the Winter Park Library. It's a pretty scenic place, has a lot of echoes, so hopefully the mics are doing a good enough job and there's not too many echoes being picked up. But
just know, I told him, I said if our voices are bouncing off all over the place, we could move. He said it's not going to, so.
No, it's not going to.
What comms are these, DJI?
Yeah, DJI.
All right, DJI.
No, we should be fine. But first and foremost, guys, just want to go ahead and say Happy New Year. This is our first video of the new year.
Yes, it is.
And we also want to say thank you very much for 1,000+ subscribers. We hit that last year around the November time frame. We haven't put a video out since then. Thanking you guys for all the support, all the likes, all the comments, and obviously for the subscriptions. But you know, me and Jamal, that was a very satisfying moment for the both of us.
4 years.
Yeah, for real.
I feel like it was. I think so.
For real, yeah. We've been on YouTube for about 4 years now for anybody who's here new to the channel. And, you know, it was a very satisfying moment to finally see us hit 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for all of that.
And you're welcome for all the videos we've did for 4 years, by the way. It's mutual. I'm sorry. Listen, guys. This is how you know that it's been a while since we've recorded a video, is because this is like take 2 or 3. Yeah, so just bear with us. Look, we love you guys. We're so thankful for you guys. It's the new year. We have a whole bunch of different things that we're gonna do this year, especially for the E36, which I brought today. So we'll be talking about that for a little bit as well. But let's just get into the video, man. All that mushy stuff, man. It's 2023. 2022 was a great year. Everybody had a great year. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get into it. Big brake kit. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it, guys. I mean, like Jamal said, we're pretty much just going to be, it's kind of going to be like my review of the big brake kit that I installed on the M3.
Right.
And whether or not it's ideal, for you. So let's go ahead, let's hop in the M3 and let's break it up. Let's talk about it.
All right, we are live. It's about time. All right, guys, so with 2023, we are trying a whole bunch of new things. So if they work, you're welcome. If they don't, we're sorry.
I'm over here looking like a miner.
Right.
For real.
No, but I think that that angle is going to come out really well. So hopefully you guys do enjoy, because this is just another thing that we're trying to do to keep things live for you guys and keep things interesting. And, you know, like I said a while ago, as we grow, we want to show it. So as you grow it, show it. Pause.
Now we're gonna get demonetized.
All right, let's get into this video.
All right, guys, so as I have previously said, this video is pretty much just gonna be a kind of overview of the big brake kit that I installed on the M3. And there's 3 key points that I want to hit specifically, and then the rest will kind of just be, you know, my thoughts about it. But the first thing being is essentially, what is a big brake kit, right? And there's a lot of different opinions on what a big brake kit is, but for me personally, it's anything that has 6 pistons or more in the front of the vehicle, right? So if you guys watching this video have an F80 M3 or F8X platform, M vehicle, depending on whether it's an M3, M4, or M2 will depend on the style of brake calipers you get. So as I've said in previous videos, when I originally got these brakes, you know, the F8X chassis, M3 and M4, they come with 4-piston front, 2-piston rear brake caliper setup. Now to some that might be a big brake kit, but not necessarily, because you have to think about diameter and size of the actual pad, the actual rotor, and the brake caliper. So that's why I say a big brake kit, in my definition, is 6 pistons or more in the front, and then however many you get in the rear.
Right.
So again, you know, these cars, the M3s, the M4s, they come stock with the 4-piston front, 2-piston rear, brake caliper setup. Now, if you have an M2 competition, that's why I'm leaving that one out. If you have an M2 competition, that's when you get into the big brake kit, because it has a 6-piston front, 4-piston rear caliper setup, a much larger rotor, and the pad size itself doubles. So that was just to touch on that a little bit. The second thing that I really want to bring up is, you know, obviously the video is titled somewhere around the area or around the wording of, you know, is a big brake kit worth it? In my opinion, yes, but I have reasons behind why it is worth it for me. And reason number one being, you guys know, and if you don't know, I track my F80 M3. We have videos on the channel of me going to Sebring with the M3 and also going to the firm with the M3. So I knew that I wanted a big brake kit, one for better stopping power, or should I say more consistent stopping power under heavy loads and excessive heat. That was, you know, one of my reasons, because I tracked the, you know, the M3. Another reason is because, and I'm not saying anything bad about the standard brake kit that comes on the M3 and the M4, right? There's nothing bad about it, and I'll give you guys a good example. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record it when I went to my first track day at the firm, but there was an instance where I was on track with the trainer. Yeah, with the trainer that I had in the car teaching me, and we were on track. I was going pretty fast. There was a BRZ in front of me. He was going pretty fast as well, and he took a turn a little too fast. I don't know if he was just trying to get a better time or what the case may be, but he took it just a little too fast and he spun out. And the reason why I'm not bad-mouthing the standard brakes that come on this car is because I had to do a full emergency stop or I would have ran into them.
Right.
And the car actually came, you know, to a full stop just in time, and I didn't reckon to him, and, you know, we were able to avoid that that situation.
So the one time you really needed it, it was there for you.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. The one time I really needed it, was there for me, and that was on the standard brakes. That was before I, you know, upgraded my brakes. Right. So now that I have this big brake kit on the M3, it has changed the car, how it acts, how it responds to things completely. The first thing that I initially noticed after installing these was just how sensitive the brake pedal had become. It was pretty good before, just a little bit of pressure and, you know, the car would come to a stop. Now it's barely anything. If I tap the brake pedal, the car's coming to a stop.
Yeah, but you noticed that instantly, because I remember as soon as we had completed that install, right. It may even be in that video, but as soon as we completed that install and as soon as everything was bled properly, your toe touched the brake pedal and you looked at me as if your whole life was changed forever.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it was like, me personally, it took me about a good week to relearn the actual brake pedal itself, because I was so used to pushing down and, you know, obviously keep pushing until the car comes to a stop. Right. But with the whole new setup, the bigger rotors, the bigger brake pads, the actual bigger calipers themselves, right. And the steel braided brake lines from Turner Motorsports that we added on as well. Nice plug. Right. Shameless plug. Yeah, I mean, it changed the entire, you know, stopping power and force of the car. I mean, like I said, it took me a week to actually really play with it. So I wasn't just like out here throwing myself back and forth trying to stop. Another thing that I noticed was weight. So with the standard brakes that came on this M3 when I had originally got it, you know, the steering wheel, the front axle itself, you know, felt normal. After I added the big brake kit, it completely changed the weight of the front axle, right? And I can feel it in the actual steering wheel itself, right? As most of you guys who own a M3 and an M4 know, you know, we obviously have our comfort, our efficient, excuse me, Sport and Sport Plus for the actual steering wheel, how tight it is and how stiff it is or how heavy it feels.
Right.
Well, just being in regular comfort mode with my steering wheel after adding the additional weight of the larger rotors, the larger brake pads, and the larger calipers itself, I noticed that the steering wheel felt a lot tighter and a lot heavier, which I knew was going to happen, but I didn't think it would be that drastic of a change. And I personally like it because now, I want to say now it almost feels like the car is back to power steering instead of electronic power steering. That's how heavy it feels. And I mean, obviously anytime that you add, you know, weight to an axle, front axle, rear axle, you're going to feel it when driving, turning, or anything of that nature. And that's why a lot of people like carbon ceramics, because obviously carbon ceramic rotors are very light, same with the pads and things like that. So it's a lot of unsprung weight, being that, you know, it's a two-piece rotor. So you can really feel the difference when you drive a car that has carbon ceramics and a car that has iron rotors. But me going from, you know, a lot less heavier setup, which was the car came with, to a heavier setup of iron rotors, I could immediately feel the difference in the actual steering wheel and on the front axle itself of the increase in weight. And I personally like that. So those are those two things right there. The last thing that I want to really go over, like a heavy topic that I want to talk about, is it doesn't matter how good your brake system is. You can have the best brake system in the world. You can have, you know, 2 pistons, 4 pistons, 6 pistons, 12 pistons, whatever it may be. But if you don't have all of the key components that make a big brake system actually perform to its fullest potential, it won't matter, right? And the 3 things, in my opinion, that I feel like, you know, is needed: 1, after you get the big brake kit, a good set of brake pads will change the actual feel itself.
Right.
And you might get actual, you know, a lot less brake dust. Because as you guys probably saw from the intro, the cinematic shots, the car is very dirty.
That's funny.
The wheels are very dirty, and these brake pads from BMW OEM pads, you know, for these rotors, they produce a lot of brake dust, which is fine. I mean, at least I know it's working.
Right.
So yeah, good set of brake pads.
Before you, let me hop in on that real quick, because I have a question that I'm sure a lot of viewers will want to know as well. There's obviously a difference in pads between normal pads and then when you go to the track.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So obviously you said that you're tracking your car. We've been to the track, so we all know that.
Right.
But can you just explain to the viewers maybe that may be questioning what the difference is between the pads, between normal everyday brake pads and then pads that are designed for the track? Because a lot of people will switch them out before they head to the track. So real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, just real quick, just to touch on that. I mean, there's a plethora of different pad options out there. I mean, obviously you have your standard ones that come, you know, from the factory with the vehicle, whatever that may be, whatever your setup is. Then you have like your half C's, where there's like half carbon ceramic pads, and it's all just about how aggressive the bite is, right? So the more aggressive the pad material, the better bite you get, and obviously you want the best bite as, you know, as possible when going around the track. You know, because obviously you want to be able to bring the car to a stop. You want that instant, you know, feel of, you know, the car's coming to a stop.
Right.
A lot of people, you know, when they get pads, they just want to get pads that don't produce as much. A little pull real quick.
Have to put them brakes to work.
Right, just like that.
Okay. They work.
They work. But yeah, they just want like less brake dust and things like that. That's the option that most people go with. But there are some very aggressive pad options out there, you know, to get that initial really strong bite when braking, so you know the vehicle's coming, you know, to a nice stop. Just to touch that topic.
Nice.
But yeah, so the last thing, the third thing that I want to pretty much go over is brake lines and tires. So with a very good big brake kit setup and a very good pad setup, whether that be OEM or whatever your choice may be, and a very good brake line and tire setup, you will get the most amount of stopping power possible with all of those. Because again, like I said, you can have the best brake system in the world, but if you have bad tires, the brakes will stop, the car will lock up, but you're just going to slide forward.
Right.
So you want to have really good sticky tires to complement the really good brake system that you have.
That's a great point you're making too.
Right. And then, you know, with brake lines, there's nothing wrong with rubber brake lines, right? They're mass produced. Every company uses them. Doesn't matter whether you have a Porsche, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a BMW, a Toyota, whatever. Every single car manufacturer produces, you know, rubber brake lines, right? And I mean, some, to be fair, some here and there will have different types of brake lines. I believe the Honda Civic Type R, the previous generation, I don't know about the newest generation that's now currently out, has what is called hard lines, to where it's a piece of, well, it's an actual line that's made out of metal.
Right.
So it's a hard line, which essentially, in theory, is the best style of, you know, brake line that you can essentially get. But the reason why rubber is so mass produced is, one, it's cost effective, and there's no really downsides of it because they essentially last the duration of, you know, the car. However well you take care of the car is however well that rubber brake line will last. Now,
Right.
obviously, if you hit some debris in the road, yes, it can get cut. Yes, you can have deficiencies and things like that. But, you know, rubber brake lines are just the standard. But anytime you're upgrading to a stainless steel brake line, it's like any other high performance part, right? You have to constantly check on it. You have to constantly inspect them because there's less flexibility in a stainless steel brake line than there is in a rubber line. And that's just the way that it's coated, put together with the Teflon and things of that nature. So there's less flexibility, so there's less movement. So obviously it's going to have a lot more wear and tear on it because obviously, you know, you turn your steering wheel left to right,
Right.
and things of that nature. But the benefits of a stainless steel brake line is that if you guys can imagine, when you press your brake pedal, when you're pressing the brake pedal on a regular rubber line, the brake fluid has to go through that line. So when it's going through that line, it's somewhat expanding that rubber line. So now you're losing that initial force that you want to have of the fluid pushing the piston onto the pad that bites the rotor. So the benefits of the stainless steel one is that it's wrapped so tight with the Teflon that the fluid, you know, when you press on the brake, the fluid goes straight to the line, it goes straight to the piston, it pushes against, you know, the pad, and then you get that really good bite,
Right.
you know, while you're braking. So those three things right there are the things that I really wanted to highlight for this video. And in my opinion, a big brake kit is worth it if you're using it for what you want to use it for. If you just want to get a big brake kit because, you know, you want to have bigger brakes on your M3, or, you know, you want to, you take your car to Cars and Coffee and you want people to see it and they're like, oh man, you know, I like your brake setup.
Right.
That's fine. But I will say, obviously, a big brake kit isn't the most
It's not the very first thing that you're going to buy when you finally get your M3.
Correct. It's not the first
It's not
thing
your
you just wanna
first
buy.
mod.
It's not the
You're not
first
going to do
mod.
that before you do window tint.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, unless you track your car and you like a fishbowl.
Right.
But-
right.
But yeah, I mean, it's not a cheap mod to say.
Right.
Right. Big brake kits can be very expensive. So that's why, in my opinion, this mod for me was worth it because, like I said, I do track my car. I do drive my car, you know, rather rough. So, and that aspect, knowing that I'd be tracking my car, I obviously wanted the better heat distribution, right? The bigger surface area you have,
Right.
obviously the better that heat gets distributed, excuse me, and, you know, I don't have to worry about things like that. So you really have to ask yourself, you know, while watching this video, you know, if you've been thinking about getting a big brake kit, you know, for your F80 M3 or M4, you just need to ask yourself, does it make sense to you to spend that amount of money on something if you're not going to use it for essentially what you want to use it for?
Right. But most importantly, guys, just always remember to do your research.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Do your research. You know. I think Ben got the best bang for his buck with the brakes that he went with. But there's a plethora of different types of brands that you could have went with. This guy, he's really gonna try his brakes again. Go ahead, bro. Try him so I can fly out this window.
No. Just doing a couple pulls for the viewers.
Yeah, whatever.
Nothing crazy.
I think he definitely got the best bang for his buck, but and not only that, it doesn't necessarily have to be for an M. It could be for anything.
Yeah,
you know,
any car.
you guys may be asking, well, I don't have an M3. Well, I don't have an M4. I don't have a G80 or an F80. Whatever car you have, if your car is purpose built for you and you say, hey, look, I want to get a big brake kit, no problem. Do your research. Ben went very in depth to explain all the key components of your brakes, essentially your brake kit, however you want to look at it, so that you can then determine to yourself, hey, you know, now that I have all of this knowledge, this is what I would like to do. So always keep that in mind. That research is key. And if you end up going with a certain brand that maybe others don't like, or vice versa, just remember that, I mean, don't let somebody else's opinion change yours, but it's your life.
Yeah, I mean, it's your build, guys.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, go with whatever brand you want. I mean, there's a plethora of brands out there when it comes to big brake kits or stainless steel brake lines. I mean, you have StopTech, you have Turner Motorsports, you have Brembo, you know, you have OEM BMW, you know, whatever you want, whatever fits your build, whatever you like, you know, go with that. Don't let other people, you know, change your mind on, oh, well, Brembo's better than StopTech, or these brake lines are better than these brake lines. Like, no, man, if that's what you want, do the research, buy what you want, buy what you like. At the end of the day, it's your car.
Correct.
And me personally, I bought this specific brake kit because this is what I wanted, and I'm building my car how I want, and I went with those brake lines, the Turner Motorsport ones that I went with, because as this guy pulls out in front of me.
Oh yeah, we got him too.
Yeah, we got him. Because that's what I wanted to do. So at the end of the day, guys, it's up to you on how you build your car and how you want to build it, and the brake kit that you want to go with. If you want to do a big brake kit, like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the standard brakes that come on the F80 M3s and M4s, the 4-piston front, 2-piston rear brakes. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They work just fine. Like I said, I have 2 track videos, one at the Sebring and one at the firm, on that exact same brake setup that you guys have, and my brakes did phenomenal. I have absolutely no complaints, but I just know as I progress with this car and as I progress with tracking, that I'm eventually going to have to upgrade my brakes to something a little bit more aggressive and something just a little bit better, so that as I'm going around the track, I don't have to worry about any sort of brake fade or anything like that.
There you have it.
Yeah,
that's basically all you guys need to know about brakes. But furthermore, comment down below if you guys have any questions. Comment down below what your favorite brand of, honestly, big brakes are. But with all that being said, it's time to give you guys a little update on the E36. So let's go and get that done.
For real, let me take this miner's hat off.
All right, well, if you guys made it to the end of the video, here's an Easter egg for you guys, to all our loyal subscribers. Thank you guys for watching the video for this long. I owe you guys an apology. So, this car hasn't been neglected, but it hasn't been on the channel that long, or that many times, just because I've been trying to do a lot of work with it in the background. And we've kind of just made Ben's car more of the focal point of the channel, just for right now at least, just because it's more photogenic, I guess you would say. But this year, 2023, this M is going to get its change. I promise you guys this. This E36 is going to get a complete overhaul. Not only that, but hopefully before my birthday, I'm calling it out now, I'm speaking it into existence. Hopefully we add another car to the channel. But
they just don't know yet.
Correct. So just to give you guys like a real quick, brief overview, to be honest, most of the videos that you will see of this car has been on my Instagram, because honestly, I post reels once or twice a day now with the E36. So if you do want to see more videos or more updates or just stuff like that, just go ahead and look at the Instagram, because that's where you'll be able to get caught up. But now on the YouTube channel, we're gonna hit the ground running with this. It's 2023, and we're not stopping, we're not slowing down at all. So just know that this is gonna get painted for sure this year. I'm already in the works, I'm already making plans, but it's not just gonna get painted. There's something else that we have already ordered on the way for it, and I'm gonna let that be a surprise for you guys to see. But just know that the E36 is definitely gonna be in the videos more, and expect to see it there. So comment down below. Actually, let's get Ben over here. Ben, come on, let's get you in. We gotta have the outro with the both of us in it. Come on. So, to lock out the video, to end the video, I'm gonna share a goal that I have. Ben's gonna share a goal that maybe he has for the channel or for himself personally. And I want you guys to hold us accountable to these goals. You know, all of the new subscribers that are here, we appreciate you guys, but like I said earlier, we all need to grow, and I want you guys to hold us accountable for that. My personal goal this year is to go and drive the Tail of the Dragon at least once, hopefully twice, but at least once, and to take the E36 to at least 2 drift events, because that's what it was made for. Ben, what you got?
Those are pretty good. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, whatever.
I would say my personal goal this year would be to get the 335i running again.
Yikes.
It's been long overdue. I have neglected that car. I've taken all the money and I put it into the M3, which I don't regret.
Listen, don't cheat. Don't cheat. Running or running and driving?
No, both.
Okay.
Running and driving, I mean, they fall into the same category. So running and driving, the actual goal is to actually have the 335i up and running by Invasion. Whether that will happen or not, it all depends on just time and money, whichever one I have more of.
So like, comment, subscribe, because we need money.
Whichever one I have more of, hopefully I can get it done. I've been working on it in the background. Those videos are coming for all you OG people who are here on the channel who remember the only single one 335i video that we have on the channel. More of those videos are coming, so stay tuned for those.
That's it.
Oh yeah, no, he's forgetting. We have our joint goal.
No, I forgot.
We have our joint goal of actually going to SEMA this year.
Yep, that's our goal.
Obviously, our cars won't be in it, but we will be there. So
when you guys see us there, no matter how many subscribers or followers we may have at the time, please show up, say hi, give Ben a good old pat on the back because he really likes those.
Oh, man.
And, yeah, we'll see you guys at SEMA.
For real, yeah, but that's going to wrap up the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.